Hello everybody, this is Jane Flame. How are you today? Your spirit soul is okay? Today's topic I'm going to present to you is about the alien beings who are participating in the Terra project for the Earth Dimensional Ascension. They are very important people for the future of our planet Earth. I will disclose their real identities today. Let's start with Captain Udeka's message. The final unravelment on the alien light workers from the alien planets. The Earth Dimensional Ascension is a cosmic event that is happening along with the beginning of the 7th major cycle of the Grand Universe after the completion of the 6th major cycle. During the 6 major cycles of evolution, the Grand Universe has achieved a significant level of evolution and has inflated tremendously in terms of space. Many planets and many living creatures have been born in the universe, and they have also evolved themselves. This vast, spacious grand universe is incomprehensible by human imagination and is little known to human beings at the current level of science and technology. Many problems have also arisen during the 6 major cycles of the evolution of the grand universe. The evolution of conscious creatures is not such a romantic process. The higher the consciousness, the higher the free will. It is very difficult for highly intelligent creatures to evolve in order respecting each other's free will. There have been continuous processes of resolving competitions and conflicts between living creatures in the collisions of their free wills and also in their abuses of free wills. Under such circumstances, various kinds of karmas emerged in the grand universe. Personal karmas between individual creatures were created, and tribal or ethnic karmas were made between tribes or races. Karmas were also created between nations. In addition, planetary karmas were created within a planet or between planets, and even karmas arose in the scale of star systems. It is the law of the grand universe that karmas occurring in the process of the evolution of the grand universe should be dissolved by the related parties who have made such karmas. In each major cycle of the grand universe, there were numerous planets that had their planetary evolutions suspended or stopped due to their karmas. The fact that the evolution of a planet is suspended means that the planet has faced situations in which the conscious creatures living on the planet have not been able to properly exert their free wills. On some planets with their evolution suspended, the planet's creatures may have suffered from the planet's contradictions, lost their vitalities, and died away in pain. Each planet has its own process of planetary evolution planned and prepared by the heaven, and the suspension of planetary evolution means that the evolutionary process of a planet is stagnant or can no longer progress. In addition, the suspension of planetary evolution means that the unresolved contradictions of a planet will eventually lead to the extinction of the planet. There are some beings on each planet who are in charge of the process of planetary evolution. Such beings who are responsible for the evolution of a planet and lead the planet's evolution are called the administrators of the planet's spiritual hierarchy in terms of the system of the grand universe. The position of the chief executive administrator of the spiritual hierarchy of a planet is assigned to members of the 13th dimensional administrators of the grand universe. For a newly born or a young planet in a new galaxy, the chief executive administrators of the spiritual hierarchy belongs to the 11th dimensional administrators of the universe, which accounts for about 35% of the chief executive administrators of the spiritual hierarchy in the grand universe. The material civilization of a planet can be developed up to the 12th dimension. About 65% of the chief executive administrators of the spiritual hierarchy in the grand universe belong to the 13th dimensional administrator group, ranked from the 1st to the 15th level. On the other hand, the 11th dimensional administrator group, ranked from the 1st to the 15th level, is involved in the management and the supervision of the material civilization of a planet that corresponds to the 10th dimensional civilization or lower. During the process of a planetary evolution, a planet can enter into the 12th dimensional material civilization after completing all the 15 levels of evolutionary processes in the 10th dimension. In this case, the 11th dimensional administrator group of a planet's spiritual hierarchy is also to be changed simultaneously to the 13th dimensional one, and this newly organized group takes charge of the evolution of the planet. This is the law of the grand universe related to planetary evolution. Planets whose spiritual hierarchies are managed by the 13th dimensional administrators are either old planets or those of old galaxies. If a planet has the spiritual hierarchy managed by the 11th dimensional administrator group, that planet is either a newborn planet or a planet belonging to a newly born galaxy. The NAVER galaxy, which is our Milky Way galaxy, is a newborn galaxy, and so about 65% of the planets within the NAVER galaxy are managed by the 11th dimensional administrator group. On the other hand, about 35% of the planets in the NAVER galaxy are the planets whose spiritual hierarchies are managed by the 13th dimensional administrator group. Most of the planets whose spiritual hierarchies are managed by the 11th dimensional administrators are either single-dimensional or have single-raced planetary inhabitants or relatively simple planetary structures. In the 7th major cycle of the grand universe, the planets managed by the 9th dimensional administrator group have also begun to be created and born. For example, here's the spiritual hierarchy of the planet Earth, which is called the Great White Brotherhood and is located in the 5th dimension. The head of the Great White Brotherhood belongs to the 13th dimensional administrator group of the universe, which means that the position of the chief executive administrator of the Earth's spiritual hierarchy is assigned to the avatar of a 13th dimensional administrator. By the way, the Gaia consciousness of the planet Earth is assigned to a member of the 17th dimensional administrator group. The Gaia consciousness of a planet is a symbolic being of the spiritual hierarchy of the planet, but it is not directly involved in the evolution of the planet in general. The administrators of the spiritual hierarchy of a planet are involved in planning and designing the roadmap for planetary evolution and have responsibility for their planet's evolution. If problems arise during the normal evolutionary process of a planet, or if karmas are caused by conflicts or disputes between planets, then the administrators of the planet's spiritual hierarchy should take the responsibility and resolve those problems or karmas. There is a program of the grand universe in which the administrators of the spiritual hierarchies of planets can participate in order to resolve their planetary contradictions and to dissolve their planetary karmas. In the interim period, when one major cycle of the grand universe comes to an end and the next major cycle is about to begin, a seed planet should be chosen and prepared to play a pivotal role in opening up the new major cycle. This seed planet means the place of troubleshooting to the administrators of the spiritual hierarchy. The administrators of the spiritual hierarchies of numerous planets can have the opportunity to participate in the project for the dimensional ascension of the seed planet. Then their roles will be evaluated by the heaven after successfully completing the project. Based on the evaluations about their performances, they will be able to receive rewards through which they can have their planetary karmas dissolved by the Creator and receive the light from the Creator to resolve their planetary contradictions. In this way, they can undertake and progress their projects to rebuild their planet, which is the law of the evolution of the universe. Such an event is happening now on the planet Earth that has been set up as the seed planet for opening up the 7th major cycle of the grand universe. The light worker group from the alien planets to participate in the Earth dimensional ascension has come to the planet Earth, carrying their planetary karmas and planetary contradictions. These alien spirit souls bearing the curse of the universe have been transplanted on the planet Earth through the Earth spiritual hierarchy and will have the Earth dimensional ascension as members of the light workers. In order to dissolve their planetary karmas, they are participating in the project to have the Earth dimensional ascension that is directly led by the Creator. They are soldiers of the universe, carrying the cross of the universe, and as such, they will support the bestower of the Avonals. These alien light workers will have their consciousness awakened in line with the timeline for the Earth dimensional ascension. They will come to remember the situations that their planets have faced, which will lead them to deep sorrow and agony. All the light workers have their own timelines in which their consciousness will be awakened without any error, and then they will perform their missions and roles. By now, the chief executive administrators of the spiritual hierarchies of about 153 planets have been living on the planet Earth, dressed in the human coat of the spirit soul. They have come to the planet Earth carrying the cross of the universe to dissolve their planetary karmas and applied for the project for the Earth dimensional ascension. Through rigorous screening by the heaven, 83 planets out of these planets have finally been selected to have their planetary karmas dissolved during this ongoing major cycle of the grand universe. How could only 83 planets have problems in this vast grand universe? Nevertheless, only 83 planets were selected, and they are scheduled to dissolve their planetary karmas after making contributions by participating in the Earth dimensional ascension. No planets out of them share the same type of planetary karma with each other, and all of them have symbolic karmic contents. Of these 83 planets, 58 planets have been in serious planetary situations, whereas the remaining 25 planets have begun to lose their evolutionary directions, even if their planetary situations are not very serious for this time point. About 15,000 alien spirit souls coming from the 58 planets have been living on Earth, wearing the human coat of the spirit soul. The above-mentioned 25 planets can be further classified into 3 groups. The first group of planets does not have major problems for this time point, but these planets have begun to lose their directions of planetary evolution. The second group of planets is kinds of pilot planets on which Homo sapiens or humans will be newly implanted. The third group of planets used to be simple monotonous planets before, but these planets are scheduled to evolve into complex multidimensional planets. Thus, the administrators of the spiritual hierarchy of these planets have so far been observing and experiencing all about the planet Earth, which is a multidimensional planet encompassing creatures of all the dimensions. There are about 8,000 spirit souls who have been sent out from these 25 planets to the planet Earth and prepared as light workers for helping the Earth's dimensional ascension. In addition, 23,000 spirit souls have entered the planet Earth to assist and support their administrators of the spiritual hierarchies of these planets, and also have been prepared to be light workers. Furthermore, about 9,000 light workers sent from the 83 planets are waiting in the Earth's spiritual hierarchy to help the reconstruction of the material and spiritual civilizations of the planet Earth after the cataclysmic shift in Earth's axis during the process of the Earth's dimensional ascension. As mentioned above, there are such a huge number of light workers who have come from the alien planet to the planet Earth in order to resolve their planetary contradictions carrying the cross of the universe. These planets can be classified into 6 groups, depending on the level of the planetary karma and the seriousness of the planet's situation. The first group, this group composed of 25 planets, is the last group whose destiny will be determined among all the participating planets. The fate of this planet will be determined after the completion of the Earth's dimensional ascension. That is, after the protective energy field areas are removed and finally the Jami-1, or the paradise of the material world, is constructed on the planet Earth. The second group, this group of planets accomplished high-dimensional civilizations but failed in keeping the balance between spiritual and material civilizations. Consequent problems arising on the planets have begun to be accumulated. Their directions of the planetary evolution need to be determined. The third group, the planets in this group could not proceed planetary evolution normally, leading to the delay in their planetary evolutions, or some planets in this group got out of their normal tracks of planetary evolution. The fourth group, this group includes the planets whose planetary contradictions were caused by severe imbalances between material and spiritual civilizations during the process of planetary evolution. In addition, some of the planets in this group were in a state where more than 50% of their planetary inhabitants were suffering mentally or physically, or some planets had more than 50% of the planet's environments destroyed. The fifth group, the planets in this group carried out the experiments on living creatures or planetary environments too excessively, or abused planetary resources. All of such conducts broke the laws of the universe regarding living creatures or natural ecosystems. As a result, more than 70% of the planetary inhabitants of each planet were afflicted with the side effects or negative aftermath of those excessive experiments, or its planetary evolution was suspended. The sixth group, due to the planetary contradictions of the planets in this group, the evolutions of the planetary inhabitants of these planets were stopped, and more than 90% of the living creatures on these planets ended up being extinct. These planets are waiting for the planetary annihilation. Now that the time has come, I, Captain Udeka, am disclosing the secret of the grand universe. I wish all the best to the light workers who have come from the alien planets and whose consciousness is being awakened in line with their own timelines. May 31st in 2018, Udeka wrote. His message was translated by Twin Flame. Thank you so much for listening. Bye.